The President of the United States, Barack Hussein Obama, has given a good reason on account of which law-abiding American citizens have got to be armed to resist the terrorist threat. Obama most likely made these remarks with inadvertent reference to the terrorist activity, and certainly without considering the implications of his statements with regard to the right to keep and bear arms and the necessity of keeping and bearing arms. Here's how it happened, however. The other day, in a television interview, Obama was discussing the forthcoming 10th anniversary of the notorious 9/11 attacks on American places in New York City and in Washington, D.C. at the Pentagon, in which thousands of Americans were killed by suicide Islamist terrorists. Obama stated that his worst fear now is the threat posed by lone wolf terrorists. That is, terrorists who, armed with a single weapon, can perpetrate a great danger of damage, such as occurred recently in the country of Norway, when a mass murderer killed about 70 people, especially young people. What Obama was saying, although he probably did not realize it, he most certainly did not realize it, is that since lone wolf terrorists are so difficult to track and intercept, Americans must be able to be armed to be able to defend themselves and their cities and their loved ones and their property from individual lone wolf terrorist attacks. When Obama cited the case of the Norway terrorist, he probably was not considering the fact that Norwegians were unable to stop the terrorist attacks because of the fact that gun laws in Norway prevent citizens from being able to be armed and therefore from being able to defend themselves and others from terrorist attacks. We all know, of course, that Obama has an outrageous anti-gun record. Recently, it has come to light, and it is still coming to light, that his Justice Department, through the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, has in effect been arming criminals in Mexico through the gun runner scandal, in which ATF agents have overseen the illegitimate transfer of guns from the United States to Mexico, which guns then were used in the perpetration of crimes in Mexico and in the United States, including in the murder of American law enforcement agents. We know also that Obama and his Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, have been promoting at the United Nations and trying to promote in the United States Senate an arms treaty on an international scale, which, if adopted, could be used to undermine the rights under the Second Amendment of law-abiding American citizens. Now, fortunately, a number of United States senators, a great number of United States senators, a number large enough to ensure that the Senate would not ratify such a treaty if it ever were presented to it, have signed on a letter indicating they would not support a UN arms treaty which would undermine the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding American citizens. This is all fine and good, but we could use as many more senators as possible to sign this letter being promoted by Senator Moran of Kansas. The fact of the matter is that Obama now has let the cat out of the bag without realizing it. His statement on television the other day really indicates that American law-abiding citizens have got to be armed to protect themselves in the event of a terrorist attack, especially an attack by a lone wolf terrorist. Obama is opening himself up to criticism on this score. Not only is he giving ammunition to the pro-gun forces in the United States on this issue, but he is, by his conduct of the Justice Department and its Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, and his promotion of this arms trade treaty at the United Nations, giving greater and greater reason for tens of millions of law-abiding American gun owners and all who value their freedom and their life and their right to protect their life with guns if necessary, to counter the arguments of the Obama administration. He's giving evidence of the fact that it is time for Americans to dump Obama. It's time also for Americans to dump Hillary Clinton. It's time for Americans to dump the United Nations, which seems hell-bent on trying to do what it can to undermine the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding American citizens. It's time for Americans not only to dump Obama and Clinton, but also to dump the United Nations. It is time to get the United States out of the United Nations and to get the United Nations out of the United States.